says he did not commit will have one last chance to plead his case at the clemency hearing today. In 1999, he was 18. He was 19 at the time. Julius Jones was convicted of killing Paul Howell. Jones has always maintained his innocence, and his family says he was home at the time of the murder. A parole board recommended clemency. The board's chairman says this: "I believe in death penalty cases there should be no doubt. And put simply, I have doubts in this case." Maria Villarreal spoke to Jones's sister and Howell's daughter. They have two very different opinions. Maria, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Gail. The families, they both seem to want the same thing, justice, but they see the case very differently. Paul Howell's daughter, Rachel, is adamant Julius Jones killed her father, and the evidence supports that. The Jones family says Julius is innocent and that race played a part in this case. At 19 years old, they say the system failed him, and now it's time for people to hear his side.
We are fighting for a man's life. What you are seeing us do is what should have been done 20 years ago.
Antoinette Jones is leading the force that's pushing to keep her older brother Julius alive.
What is the truth about him?
The truth about my brother is he is an innocent man on death row.
On July 28, 1999, Paul Howell was murdered outside his parents' home in front of his family. His SUV was stolen, and witnesses reported seeing a black man with a red bandana and 1 to 2 inches of hair shoot the father of two. 3 days later, 19-year-old Julius Jones was arrested at his home. His family says eyewitness descriptions don't match Julius, who at the time had shaved his head.
What makes you so sure they had the wrong person?
Because I know where my brother was that night of the murder of Mr. Paul Scott Howell.
Where was he?
He was at home with his family. We were eating spaghetti and cornbread. Before we ate spaghetti and cornbread, we were playing Monopoly.
For years, the family has asserted neither Jones nor his family were allowed to testify about critical details because his defense team was inadequate. They say his public defender was inexperienced and didn't cross-examine witnesses. They also say race played a role, pointing to a white juror and the officer who arrested him, allegedly calling Jones the N-word. A 2018 documentary about Jones, The Last Defense, focused on evidence attorneys did not present at court about Christopher Jordan. Jordan was convicted of murder for driving the getaway car in Paul Howell's death, but he allegedly admitted to at least 3 others that he shot Howell and framed Jones. Jones spoke to the film crew from jail, saying he regretted not saying it was Jordan who committed the crime.
I mean, this was probably my greatest downfall, that I never said anything to the police. But where I grew up, you're not supposed to be telling other people's business because bad things can happen to you. These people set me up to take a fall because they knew somebody was going to fry for this.
Since the documentary aired, Jones's case has received attention from celebrities like Kim Kardashian and Stephen Curry.
So there's a lot of misinformation around this case, and the public has been given a false narrative about this case.
Rachel Howell was 9 years old when her father was killed and was with him that day.
Julius Jones and his family and their supporters claim that he did not get the opportunity to testify in court. That is completely false. You can find it in the transcripts if you do the research. They asked him multiple times if he is waiving his right to testify, and he's agreed. He did not want to testify.
Jones's clemency hearing is the first time she'll actually get to confront the man convicted of killing her father.
He was an innocent man taking his kids to get ice cream with my aunt, and he was murdered in front of me and my sister and my aunt. Understand that we are the victims here. We have done nothing wrong, and it almost feels like we are doing something wrong by speaking out.
Their hope for truth is a sentiment shared by the Jones family.
They want justice.
They want justice. We want justice. Every time I say justice for Julius, and every time I'm fighting for my brother, I'm fighting for Mr. Paul Scott Howell.
Multiple appeals courts have upheld this ruling, saying that the court case was conducted fairly. Now, if a parole board does recommend clemency, the final word goes to the governor. He decides whether or not Julius Jones lives or dies in the end. And if he does grant him clemency, that doesn't mean he's going to immediately walk out of jail. If he is not granted clemency, his execution is scheduled for November 18th. Gail?
Oh boy, Maria.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. Welcome back. That which I just showed you was a clip. It was about a month or so ago, a few months ago, when that clip was taken. And actually, we're going to have a guest really soon here. 1 second. I'm just waiting on my guest to join me right now while I pull up these other website here. But as you saw on that interview right there, Julius Jones' family, his sister, his mother, his best friend, a lot of celebrities, the community where he's from has been fighting and fighting for him to be, for his death sentence to be commuted. And I had just did a video earlier, and it was editing. I didn't even get a chance to upload it, but because of the fact that I did it and I edited it, and it's still processing on YouTube, I'm still going to release it, even though that video that I did earlier, I was letting you guys know that he has 4 hours left. The governor has 4 hours to commute his death sentence. And then, like, while the video is processing, I see on the news, breaking news, that the governor has commuted his death sentence. I was like, dang, that video I made was a waste. But I'm like, no, I'm going to keep that video up there because I did it and I spent time doing it. So I'm gonna leave that video up there, and people who come in and see that video, they'll probably be like, oh, he already did it. The governor already signed it. But they had actually, of course, they wanted his death sentence to be commuted, but they actually wanted him to be given parole. And I'm going to add our guest on here tonight, who we were speaking with last night about this same story, author Laverne Crump. Let me just add her on here. Hey, Laverne.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good, and how are you?
I'm doing good, but why my little cute avatar ain't up there?
I don't know. I don't know why it's not up there. Do you want to try to log out and come back in and make sure?
No, that's okay. But I mean, I remember you helped me do it last time, and it should have still been up there, but it's
right. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I was just talking to you last night as I was telling the people watching right now that we were discussing that he literally has hours, till his execution for the governor to commute his death sentence. And then this morning, well, just a minute ago, we got the breaking news that the governor did sign it off. So how do you feel about that? I know you're down there in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and you spoke a little about it last night. Go ahead.
I'm in Oklahoma City, not Tulsa.
But, I'm sorry, Oklahoma City.
Yeah. But I am so happy. I am so relieved. I've been crying. I've been having so many different emotions. It has been really, really crazy. This has been a real roller coaster ride. As you know, I've been going down to the Capitol this week. I've seen the family, the friends, everybody who has supported Julius and in this whole situation. It is just overwhelming. I'm actually about to get ready to get out and about now. They are all in McAllister right now, which is a couple of hours away. That's where the prison is at. So that's where a lot of the supporters are at. I did not go down there this morning. Like I said, it is a 2-hour drive, so I didn't want to take that drive. I just decided to wait until everybody came back. But I am just super excited. Now, I am going to tell you, I am disappointed of the fact. Now, we are grateful and happy that that Julius was life was spared. Okay, and I'm let me just say that I'm happy about that.
Right.
But also, I'm very disappointed because the governor should have given him life with the possibility of parole. He did not do that. He just did life without the possibility of parole. And further looking into things, he also said in the letter that he released said that he cannot try to go back and get his sentence commuted again. He cannot do this. He cannot do that. He can't go up for parole, all of this type of things. Now, maybe it might be some type of loophole or some type of something that can be done. But per what the governor is saying is that he could never get out. He just spared his life.
Wow. So he don't have the option to do anything.
No, as what I'm seeing and what the attorney, what the governor is saying, and what I read clearly with my own eyeballs, is that he's saying no. So I am going to, see for sure. I have a couple of attorney friends and things like that. I'm going to talk to them about this and see, you know what I mean? Is it anything that could possibly, be done? And if it is, I'm sure his attorneys are aware of it and will get on it. But I just want to know what I'm talking about. So,
right. Well, I'm
I want to know the facts.
Right. And I'm just looking at the article right now. They said that his sentence has been commuted to life in prison without the possibility of parole, according to the executive order filed today by the governor down there. And they saying the governor came to the decision following prayerful consideration and reviewing material presented by all sides on the case. That's what he said. Prayerful. He was praying. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, it also says that in the executive order, the governor said neither the state constitution nor state law gives the boards authority to recommend that commutation, nor did they give the governor the authority to grant it. As a result, the governor was commuting Jones' sentence with the condition that he shall not be eligible to apply for or be considered for a commutation, pardon, or parole for the remainder of his life.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it says. And they're saying that the attorney for Jones and his family, Amanda Best, she said the governor's decision was an important step towards restoring public faith in the criminal justice system by ensuring that Oklahoma does not execute an innocent man. But she acknowledged the Jones family and supporters had hoped he might get parole. And that's what we were hoping too. That's what we were talking about last night. Yeah.
Yes, but being that did not happen. Now again, him being able to still be alive and breathing right now, that was the number one thing, because that governor could have said, you know what, we just go kill him. He could have done that. Okay. So we're thankful that he did not do that. But also he should have definitely given him life with the possibility of parole. So this, it's like a slap in the face.
That's what I think so too, especially after he been there for 20 years.
Exactly.
Already.
You got people who have done and committed murders. Even let's say he did do it, which I don't believe he did, but let's say he did. He didn't already been in there 22 damn years. He didn't done his time. I feel. It's people that have committed murders that was out in 10 years, 15 years. You know what I mean? The man has done 20. Y'all done took 22 years of this man's life. He was 19 years old when he went away. Come on now. Like, damn, y'all didn't kill him, but you might as well have. I'm saying it like that, but I'm saying that's fucked up.
And then on top of that, from the very, very beginning, the witnesses, the description was totally off.
Right.
Like they talking about this man had hair, like 2-3 inches of hair.
Right.
And he had a fade.
Right. Right. That man did not do that. And I feel like this is wrong. And I feel like every attorney, I don't know what they can do, because being that governor said what he said, and it was a strict what he said. He said it with authority that no, he cannot get parole. He cannot get this. He cannot get that. So I'm wondering if it's anything that an attorney can do, anything his team can do, anything anybody can do.
I don't know. I wonder if that's something you could actually take to the Supreme Court. I don't know.
Well, whatever it is, trust and believe. As many celebrities is behind him, as many people. I'm telling you this on this day today. I believe that man will walk out of them gates one day. I don't believe that he's going to spend the remainder of his life in there. I just don't. And I'm wondering now, are they going to allow him? Because, you know, because he was on death row, he was only allowed out of his room 1 hour a day. He was not in general population or anything like that. I'm wondering, is that going to change since it's now been brought to life without the possibility of parole?
I wonder. I'm gonna have to keep my eye open about that. I'm sure they're going to be giving more details later about that. But as far as, you know, him being off of death row, that is a first step.
Yes.
But I do hope that, you know, something can be done about what the governor said, because I don't understand that, and a lot of people don't understand that. Like, okay, it was doubts from the very beginning. If this was the right person. And then somebody else, I forgot the guy's name, but I played the little video clip earlier before you came on. But another guy has said that he did it.
Right.
So you got a confession from somebody else. The description of the suspect was inaccurate. And you still not giving him parole after prayerfully considering, you know, you decided that he doesn't deserve to be killed.
Man, listen, that governor is full of shit to me. I'm thankful again. Let's not get that confused that he did allow that man and spare that man's life. But at the end of the day, it's still not. And I feel like he's trying to make the Jones family somewhat happy, and he's trying to make the other side of the fence. So he's trying to be fair with the whole thing, but you're not being fair, because the man did not do it. The man is innocent.
And he still didn't even meet with the family. He had met with the Howe family. He didn't even meet with the Jones family. So how you talking about you prayerfully made this decision? You wasn't even willing to speak to them. They waited hours.
Yes.
Hours to talk to him. And he
wouldn't even take the letter. He wouldn't even take the letter. We sat down there for hours down there at his office. Do you know he refused to even take the letter from the mother?
That's sad. That is so sad. And that's what makes me think prayerfully. Come on now. You trying to satisfy and you know, it's sad what happened. It's very tragic what happened to their father. He was on his way to take his kids for ice cream. And he was killed, and his vehicle SUV was stolen at the same time. So that's really, really, my heart goes out for them. But I mean, from the very beginning, you have to look. When people give the wrong description of a suspect, and then they put them in jail behind bars anyway. That a lot of that was happening back in the day, like you said last night. A lot of stuff back in the day, a lot of people was getting put in jail back in the day who were the wrong people.
Mm-hmm.
Then 15, 10, 20 years later, they doing a DNA test or something, and it's not them.
Mm-hmm.
You're free to go.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know?
And then just think about it. And that's like I said last night, being a Black man who has been a young boy who has been accused of killing a white businessman, that right there in itself was going to have all the negative and all the fingers pointing at him just because of the facts. Okay, so we know this, and those people did whatever they could because they had to blame somebody. They had to convict somebody, and that somebody just so happened to be Julius, is what I feel.
Yeah, I agree. Because the other family, and then on top of that, it's like the family was a white family.
Mm-hmm.
And they've always said that they thought it was like some racial injustice that was going on down there when it happened. I can believe it, because Oklahoma is just that. I know somebody right now in prison right now doing life down there, and I interviewed him like a year ago. So, and it, yeah.
Well, I am gonna say this: if you plan on doing any type of crimes or criminal activities or any bullshit down here in Oklahoma, baby, you better not, because they not playing no games. Okay, they play them. This is a place to where you want to come, you want to live a nice, peaceful life with no, not all your days that you doing checks, stealing, any goddamn thing that you was doing before. You better stop it when you get to them Oklahoma City lines.
when you get to the border, child.
When you get to them lines, baby, you better lay it all by the wayside because they're not playing.
Yeah, I heard they don't play, and I've never lived there, but I used to visit there years ago. Our church used to go there because we used to have another church down in Tulsa, well, in Oklahoma. But all the people, you said all the people are still right now in McAllister, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what's going to happen later today? I know you said you're going to meet with everybody somewhere. Are they planning to meet like a certain location in your city?
Well, they're actually, since they're coming to the city, which is back here where everybody's going to be, it's a couple different locations that they meet at. So I'm waiting to see which one is going to be the meetup spot, and I will definitely be there. Definitely, it's a celebration, so
Yes.
I'll definitely be there.
Yes, it is a celebration to be had, and again, we're not ungrateful that about him not getting the death sentence. A lot of people are very, very thankful that. I mean, they had celebrities, they had people. Man, there was 6 million people who signed the petition for
7 million.
7 million,
almost 7 million. Yes.
Right. Almost 7 million people. There was kids walking out of schools. There was celebrities from Kim Kardashian, Pastor T.D. Jakes, Steph Curry. Seth, did I say his name right? Seth Curry.
Yeah, Russell
Westbrook.
Everybody.
A lot
Kurt
of people.
Franklin.
Yes, Kurt Franklin.
I mean, everybody.
Yes, there was a lot of people who were fighting for him because I mean, ever since I remember this story because it happened in 1999. I remember it was a while ago, but it was one of those big stories back then. And my oldest son was a few years old. So I remember the story really well, but I didn't follow it all these years. You know how some stories happen. You hear about them, they go to jail and, just move forward.
They fade away.
Okay. Yeah, and it's sad. That's a lot of things, and that's why when things really, really happen, like even like murders here, like what's her name? Amber. God rest her soul.
Amber Harry.
People like her. We try to keep their names and people's memories. We try not to let the memory of people die, along with them. So I am very glad that this family was like, we ain't doing this. We're going to keep fighting.
Yes, I am too. And I'm going to tell you, I remember in Nebraska, the last, execution that I remember and I recall was Walking Willie Ote. I just remember that name.
Yeah.
That name it just stuck in my head. So I remember when they executed him, and I remember sitting there. We lived on 40th and Pratt. I remember sitting there, 42nd and Pratt, and I remember sitting there, and I remember them saying, "Okay, now he's dead." And I was like, "Wow," you know what I mean? Like and I felt even back then, them killing people was wrong, and I still stand by that. I don't believe in the death penalty, and I really wish that they will abolish the death penalty. I was listening to an interview that Julius had did this morning. He was speaking to the people out there. It was on CNN or Good Morning America, one of them, and he was crying, and he was saying, they said, "Well, what would you like to say to your parents and your family?" He said, I'm sorry, I was a bad kid, but I was not a murderer," or something like that. He said, "Man, that brought me to tears when I heard that man say that, and heard the crying and the tears in his voice, man, it just did something to me." And I'm just thankful again that his life was spared, but still something has to be done, and I'm hoping that something can be done for him to get out.
I hope so too. I do hope so. I'm gonna keep him and his family in my prayers. And the thing about it when it comes to the death sentence, I know a lot of people are for it and a lot of people are against it. And it's certain people, we can just name people off the top of our heads that, man, they deserve to die. They deserve to go under the jail for what they did to a child or to assaulting somebody or, whatever. But then a lot of times it'd be wrong. It'd be the wrong person. And that's the thing. That's the bad thing about execution. when it's an innocent person and they
Mhm.
die anyway, it's like once you kill them, you can't never bring them back and say, I'm sorry,
Nope.
you got it wrong.
Nope.
So when there's any shadow, if there's any inkling of a doubt like this story had with him, with Julius Jones, if there's any doubt at all, especially in the description of the suspect, I don't believe those should be given death sentences. I really don't.
Absolutely not.
Put them in jail so they can, find more evidence or try them again, or but I think that is so wrong. Hey, a view is a view. Yep.
Well, I'm still upset again, like I said, that they even that the governor said without the possibility. He should have said with the possibility of parole. Without it, that just really did something to me. But again, hopefully something can be done about it, and he can see the last of his years out, you know
Right.
what I mean,
Right.
in the free world. So
Mhm.
that man don't know how to use a cell phone. Just think of all the things that have changed since he has been gone. Technology has changed. Everything is so different for him right now. You know what I mean? He wouldn't even know. He would have to relearn how to do everything all over again.
Exactly. And again, we are thankful that the governor did, even though they call it in the 11th hour. You know how they say that means like in the last minute, the last second. So in the 11th hour per se, the governor did sign off to commute Julius Jones execution. He was supposed to by lethal injection today in Oklahoma at 4 p.m. and literally like what 3 hours ahead of time? 3 hours
It
ahead of
was
that?
at 12.
At 12,
At
yep.
12.
So 4 hours ahead of that, he commuted his sentence.
But
But
let me tell you
yeah,
something. I'm still not happy again that he put that family through that torture like that. He put that. Just imagine Julius sitting in that cell thinking that when the time come, he my time has come. They're here to get me, and I'll never. You know what I mean? The mother and them preparing to go inside of them doors to witness the death of their child. That's
right.
some dirty shit.
And that's why I said he talking about he prayerfully. Yes, abuse of you. Sorry, I got a dry cough.
That governor ain't no.
11th hour.
Listen, he did a good deed, but then again, he didn't. So to me, he still ain't shit. I'm just gonna be
I
honest.
think he, like you said before, I don't think he prayerfully went into his prayer chambers and he talking about he prayerfully reconsidered or prayed for insight or whatever. I don't think he prayed. I think he basically did this because, man, what would have happened down there?
Oh my God.
Like they had barricades around his house from the
Mm.
front door to the back door. I mean, they got so much security surrounding his house. He knew, that governor knows, just like everybody else knows. There was a doubt in who did it, a doubt of the description. The description of the suspect was totally wrong. He knew, he didn't pray. He wanted to torture them.
And
Wanted
I'm
to
gonna
torture them.
yep, that's what I believe too. And I believe he had no remorse. He had no sympathy. He had no nothing for that family. And I'm gonna tell you, my baby, she just turned 9. And when I tell you she's so smart and intelligent, she said this morning, Mom, I don't think that I want to go to school this morning. I said, well, why? She said, because we just don't know what's going to happen. What if they try to come and burn all the schools down? What if they try to do this? My daughter is very in tune to what's going
Because
on.
you don't
Okay.
ever know what might happen. You see what happened with George Floyd?
Yeah. So she was so concerned. I said, no, you gonna be okay. You're going to school. But I made her go to school
But if
anyway.
anything's happen, I'll be there. I'll be there.
I told her, I said, oh, I'm gonna be on guard, baby. Trust and believe. But I'm
Right.
just so thankful, man. This was a good thing. But I gotta get going.
Okay.
Thank you so much for having me on here again. And
Yes, I
hopefully
can't wait
I'm
to
gonna
see
hit
you
you
go
up
live
later.
again. I'm looking forward to seeing you go live again.
Yes, I know. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do.
Do something on your YouTube channel and invite us over there.
I will. And listen, I'm really a Facebook girl, but
I
I'm
know.
blocked on Facebook again all of a sudden. But
How many days you got? You got like 8 days left, right?
Yeah, I got like 8 more days. All of a sudden, when somebody made their stuff back on Facebook, all of a sudden my stuff started getting reported again. But anyway,
Yeah.
we'll
Anyway.
talk. I'll call you.
Okay. Yeah, give me
thanks,
a call because I definitely I want to see some footage down there where y'all gonna be at celebrating.
Okay, great.
All right, hon.
Okay, hon. Have a good
All
one.
right. And be safe
bye-bye.
down there. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, you guys. That's my little lunch break live breaking news, I should say. Breaking news live of Julius Jones' death sentence being commuted by the governor down there in Oklahoma. So shout out to the governor for doing that. But again, I still believe that after 20 years, and it's been so many different doubts and just different things going on with that case. After 20 years, I think he should have been paroled. I know the governor has said, like we said before, that basically he said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to keep them from killing this man. But under the condition that he could never get out of jail. No chance of being paroled early or anything like that. And I still think that is wrong. So I'm hoping, I don't know if that governor's, if what he filed and signed could be overwritten by the Supreme Court. I don't know if the family can get, if the lawyers can fight that as well. Once the governor signs his John Hancock on that, I don't know. But it's a lot going on out here, y'all. It's a lot going on. And like Laverne told y'all, if y'all planning on doing anything criminal in Oklahoma, you might want to think again, because they do not play down there when it comes to the law of the land. And on that note, everybody, make sure you like and share this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I hope everybody is having a wonderful Thursday. The weekend is almost here. I'll be on later this evening. Laverne wants to come back when she's down at the celebration location, and so she can be recording and, you know, showing us some live footage down there since she can't go live on Facebook. And also, I'm going to look at another house. Y'all know I'm in the process of trying to buy a house, so I'm going to look at house number 3 later today. And of course, I'll record it like I did the last 2 houses that I want to look at. And you guys, again, I hope you're having a wonderful Thursday and are looking forward to a wonderful weekend and holiday. Next week is Thanksgiving, y'all. Thanksgiving, turkey and ham and some homemade chicken and dressing. I know some people do turkey and dressing. I prefer chicken and dressing. Yes, I cook a whole big old turkey, and then I cook me some chickens, and then I put my chickens in my homemade dressing. So I've always done it that way. But anyway, I'm looking forward to spending time with family and everything. And you guys, just stay safe. Be blessed. Always, like I always tell you, remain vigilant at all times and always keep it hood. Bye.